Okay. So while you are doing such questions, don't treat it like a question. Imagine you are really conducting this experiment and you are having this voltage 1.5 volt battery and you are having these two capacitors. Now you want to make the voltage as large as possible by joining the combination of these three. So obviously, one simplest thought that comes to mind is that why don't we just provide the charge to them also 1.5, then when they will also get 1.5, we connect the battery across 2 microfarad and then we connect the battery across 3 microfarad and they are both attaining the same potential 1.5 volt and 1.5 volt. Once that happens, after that we can join them in series like this, plus minus plus minus plus minus. But this is not good enough. We can do better than that. I think soon you will understand that we can use one capacitor and one battery together to charge the third one. And while we are doing that, what charge the third one will acquire? What voltage the third one will acquire? What voltage you can achieve by this way? It is 1.5 volt. What was on this? We were conducting this experiment in the morning. Then we noticed that when we connect 2 microfarad, when we take it 2 microfarad here and we have 3 microfarad here, let us say, then the charge supplied will be 1.5 in series. I can take, and then together it is this is equivalent diagram. It is becoming how much?
18/5, sir. Charge supply. I mean charge.
6/5.
Total 18/5 charge.
And the charge comes out to be now 18/5. So what charge flows in this? The charge flowing in this small q, that is equal to 18/5 microfarad. That is the charge flowing. As a result, what happens? As a result, it gets okay, fine. It gets charged. Which one gets charged? 2 gets charged, but 3 will get discharged a little bit because it is losing charge in this process and 2 is gaining charge. So what happens if I keep on repeating this experiment again and again? What I will do again? I will charge 3 volt once again. I can charge 3 microfarad. Its charge is decreasing, but I can charge it as many number of times, and I can again connect it. I can again connect it across 2 microfarad. But now 2 microfarad itself will have some charge. What charge it has? 18/5. What is the voltage across 2 microfarad? Voltage across 2 microfarad will now become Q divided by 2, which is equal to
9/5, sir.
9/5 volt. How much is 9/5 volt? 1.8
1.8
volt. 1.8 volt. Then if it is already 1.8 volt and I take 1.5 here and 1.5 here, and then this is having 1.8 volt, right? But I want to charge it. If I want to charge it, then how should I connect 2 microfarad in the circuit? I should connect in such a way so that this 3 volt is able to supply charge to it. Means its positive terminal should be
negative
towards
plate,
that side.
positive terminal to negative plate.
Yes. This is 3 microfarad. What is 3 microfarad actually? This total is 3 microfarad. You may think it is already discharged. No, I have charged it again, and then I am again connecting it. Again, I am connecting it. I'm repeating this process again. But this time, this little battery is because of 2 microfarad. 2 microfarad has already what voltage? 1.8 volt. But still, which is greater? Still, this 3 volt is still greater than this. So it can still send charge into it. So what it will do now? How much charge it will send next time? Next time it will send Q charge, which will be now. What will be the charge flowing? Apply KVL again. 1.5 plus 1.5. 3 minus 1.8. 3 minus 1.8 is 1.2. 1.2 into 6/5 microfarad. So that will give us, what is the charge supplied this time? This time the charge supplied is
36/25, sir.
36/25, right? And then what will be the voltage acquired by 2 microfarad this time? Voltage acquired by 2 microfarad will be equal to Q divided by 2, which is equal to 18 divided by 25. What is 18 divided by 25?
0.7.
No, sorry. My mistake here. Charge acquired by it is not Q. This is the charge flown in the network. Already it has some initial charge. It will be extra charge given to that.
Added.
Okay? So it will be added. Already it was having what charge? 18 by 5. How much is added to that? 36 by 25 is added. Then this divided by 2 will be the new voltage. What will be the new voltage? Initial voltage was 1.8 volt plus 18 by 25. It will be added. This voltage will be added in that. What it will become? Do the calculation. 18 into 4 is 72. Divided by 100. 0.72.
2.52, sir. 2.5.
2.52. I have just one purpose to show you that see voltage is increasing. First it was 1.8, now it is becoming 2.52. If I keep on repeating this process again and again, then what do you think? What maximum voltage I can provide it? It can never become more than 3 volt. Why? Because the battery which is supplying the charge, this one, this equivalent battery, this is real battery, this equivalent battery, this total effective equivalent battery which is supplying the charge has to be greater than this. So what maximum it can provide it? It can provide it maximum voltage of 3 volt. Okay, so let us say we have achieved that. What we have achieved? We have achieved 1.5 volt here, and we have achieved 3 volt across 2 microfarad. Across 2 microfarad, what I have achieved? 3 volt. This by multiple charge, by charging again and again, I have achieved 3 volt across it, right? I could do this thing also. I could do this thing. I could take 1.5 volt battery and the 2 microfarad capacitor together. Okay. I could take 2 microfarad capacitor and I could use that to keep charging again and again 3 microfarad. If I do that, then what charge I can provide to 3 microfarad also in the same procedure, by the same procedure? The maximum charge that I can provide to 3 microfarad will be, or the maximum voltage that I can provide across 3 microfarad is also equal to 3 volt. I can understand one thing. I cannot do both of the things simultaneously. Either I can do this or I can do this. Okay, any one of these things I can do. Either this or that. Now, which is more advantageous? We will come to know about it later on. Okay, let us say I am taking 2 cases. Case 1. While I am conducting this experiment, I am trying to charge 2 microfarad again and again, and I am able to provide the 3 voltage across it. Other time, I am charging 3 microfarad again and again by using the combination of 1.5 volt and the 2 microfarad capacitor. I am trying to charge 3 microfarad again and again. And what maximum I can achieve? Again, 3 volt only. So now, what will happen now? What will be the effective voltage which we can achieve by joining these? Now, if let us say I have 1.5 volt battery, okay, and case 1, which one I am charged? Which one I have charged? I have charged 2 microfarad, and I have 3 microfarad, which is already again connected to 1.5 volt. Can I connect? If I have already achieved this procedure of charging it to 3 volt, can I do this stupid thing now? Can I connect 1.5 volt battery across 2 microfarad in the first case? Can I do that? No, I cannot do that. Why I cannot do that? Because it has already acquired what voltage? 3 volt. If I connect it across 1.5 volt battery, then all effort which I have done to increase this voltage slowly, gradually, that effort will be again of no use, because it will again discharge, and it's across it, what voltage will be acquired again? Again, it will acquire 1.5 volt. So my complete step by step, which I have done again and again, charging 2 microfarad again and again, that will go wasted. So therefore, I should not connect 2 microfarad across 1.5 volt battery. The capacitor which I am charging again and again, the capacitor which I have kept for charging again and again, that I should not connect to 1.5 volt. What should I connect to 1.5 volt? The other one. Let us say I have connected 3 microfarad to 1.5 volt. Then what charge it will give to 3 microfarad? It will give voltage 1.5 volt. Charge I don't need, it will give 1.5 voltage across that. Now I will take this 1.5 volt and I will take 3 microfarad and I will take 2 microfarad. How much 2 microfarad has already acquired? 2 microfarad has already acquired 3 volt. And what is this of 3 microfarad? 3 microfarad is also 1.5 volt. Okay. In the last charging, what is the total now? Total is obtained 1.5 plus 1.5 plus 3, that is equal to 6 volt. Can we do better than that also now? Think about it. Can we do better than that? Yes, we can do better than that. How? What I will do now, I will take 1.5 volt battery and 3 volt. This is acting equivalent to 3 volt or not? It is acting equivalent to 3 volt. I will
Charging.
take this. I will take this 3 volt here. Like this, I will take 3 volt, equivalent 3 volt. And then I will use it to charge what?
3 microfarad.
1.5 volt in series with 3 microfarad. I will use it to charge this. Already it has 1.5 volt, but I want to make it more. It is 2 microfarad. What charge I can make flow now? Let us see what charge we can make flow. So Q is the charge flown. 1.5 and 3 total effective battery in this will become 3 volt, and effective capacitance will become, I think, 6 by 5 we have already determined. So what is the charge which I can make flow now?
18 by 5.
I can make flow 18 by 5 microfarad. If I do that, then what is the voltage raised of this? How much is the voltage raised? Can we find it out? Already it was 1.5 volt, but I will be able to raise now 1.5 volt plus extra charge supplied divided by capacitance. So what it will be now? 1.5 plus 18 by 5 into 3, which will be equal to how much?
0.
3.1, sir.
It is equal to 3 point
1.8, sir. 1.8.
1.8. 1.8. So how much is this total?
Total is 1.8, sir. Total is 1.8.
0.5 plus 0.8.
Total is 1.8. 1.8. Then this is what we are achieving now. Now we are achieving how much is across 2 microfarad? Do you know that in this procedure, the 2 microfarad capacitor will also lose some charge? How much will be the loss of that? The loss of voltage will be 3 volt minus Q by 2. How much it is losing then? 3 volt minus Q by 2. Let us find it out. 3 minus 18 by
1.6. 1.6.
1.6 or what? 9 by 5, 1.8.
1.2, sir. 1.2.
Final is 1.2, right?
Yes,
Right
sir.
or not? So notice how much we have gained, how much voltage we have gained overall. The voltage that we have gained by this procedure is 1.5 plus, what was it? I just want gain only. Gain is 6 by 5. 6 by 5 is 1.2. 1.2 gain. But how much lost? 1.8 lost. Now, 1.8 lost or not?
Sir, 18 by 15 is 0.6. 0.3 only, sir.
18 by,
15, sir.
wait a second, what am I doing then here? 18 by 3 is 6 by 5 is 1.2. What are you doing, boy?
0.3, sir. 1.2, yes, sir.
What are you doing, boy? 1.2. And what about the other case? Other case also, then you might have committed some mistake. Let me check myself only. 2, 9, 9 by 5, 1.8. That is right. Other is right. How much voltage is lost? 1.8. How much we are gaining? 1.2. Okay. Although 3 minus 1.8 is 1.2, I have no problem if it is losing, but it is losing so much. It is losing too much. Although I can make up for 1.3 loss. How can I make up for 0.3 loss? By connecting 1.5 with, at last I will again charge it with the battery and I can make up for that loss, and I will be getting what? 1.5 plus 0.3, and I will be able to make it 1.8, right? Sorry, at last I can 1.5 for this. I can get 1.5. What is it we are getting here? We are getting 1.5 plus 1.2, that is 2.7, right?
Yes, sir.
2.7, and it is becoming 2.7 volt battery now. And what battery we have? Other battery 1.5. And what battery we have for 2? Now 2 is already just 1.2. Even if I take 2 and I connect to 1.5, then also it is just 1.5. So in this procedure, by this procedure of charging, trying to charge 3 microfarad, I have committed a mistake. because I ended up losing the 3 volt, which I was already having, and then I have now less voltage. Instead of 3 volt now, I have what now? Let us check now. 1.5 plus 1.5 plus 2.7 that I'm having. But before that, I was having 1.5 plus 1.5 plus 3. Now I am having 1.5 plus 2.7 plus this is just 1.5 now. Although it is 1.2, but anyway, no problem. I can connect to battery and I can make it 1.5. So it is loss. In this procedure, we don't have any gain. What I can do instead, I could have opted for another procedure, and that procedure is this: 1.5 volt, and this is 3 volt, and this is 3 microfarad. Means which case I am taking now? I am taking the case number 2, in which I was charging 3 microfarad again and again. Which one I was charging again and again? 3 microfarad. Then in the last step, I have this situation: 1.5 volt, and this is 2 microfarad capacitor here, and I am trying to charge this now. What is the charge flown now? The charge flown will be obtained in the same way as we have obtained last time. Q will be again 18 by 5 microfarad. Now, how much will be the gain in 2 microfarad voltage? Gain will be 1.5 plus 18 by 5 into 2. How much it will gain then? It will gain 1.8. 1.8 and 1.5. If I add together, what I will be getting? I will be getting
3.3.
3.3. Now observe what I have now. What voltage I have achieved? 3.3 voltage. And what other voltages I am having? 1.5 of battery. 3 microfarad has now little less. How much it has lost? Let us check how much it has lost. It has lost 3 minus 18 by 5 into 3. So how much it has now? It has
1.8, sir.
3 minus
1.8, 1.2.
1.2. That is 1.8 total. 1.8 is still better than 1.5 volt. It is still better. So in this, what is the total now I have obtained? I have obtained 1.5, that is of battery, plus 1.8 because of the 3 microfarad, and at last 2 microfarad is able to give us how much? 2 microfarad is able to give us at last
3.3.
3.3. So what is the total which we are getting?
0.6, sir.
Total that we are getting is 3.3 plus 1.5 plus 1.8. That total is equal to
6.6 volts.
6.6
6 volts.
volt. So we are able to achieve 6.6 volt. That is the best that we can do. We are able to achieve 6.6 volt. Okay. We cannot do better than that. I think so. Shiva is attending class or not? He's not attending. Is there anyone who has Pathfinder? You can see what is the answer they have given there. Although it is right only, I think so, as far as I remember. Have I discussed this already? I have discussed, I think.
The question number is the previous one.
It is the last question, challenger question.
Correct only, sir. 6.6, sir.
6.6 only. All right. So now you may think that this procedure is really complicated to follow what we are doing, miss. But that's what I'm telling. If you do this question like a problem, as if it is a question, then you will be facing more difficulty. But you think as if you're really conducting this experiment and trying to charge again and again, you will keep on getting ideas gradually, and you will understand that what would be the best way. And what is the easy point in this? Easy point is that every time when we are doing the calculation, this charge flown will always remain constant only. It will always be 18/5. So if we keep this idea in mind, then we don't have to waste much time in calculating charge over and over again. We know it will always come out to be same. So and one more thing we can think, see, okay, let me summarize how we are able to do this. First of all, I can achieve easily the charging of 2 microfarad and 3 microfarad. Any of these I can achieve easily up to maximum 3 volt. That is a well standard procedure. You have understood this procedure, I think. How can we achieve 3 volt for this, or how can we achieve 3 volt for this? What we need to do, we need to keep on charging again and again by repeating large number of steps, infinite number of steps. Actually, we can keep on charging again and again. What I will do, I will take 1.5 volt, charge one of the capacitors first, and then take those two together in series and charge the third one. And I will keep on charging the third one again and again by those. As a result, I will be able to achieve easily 2 microfarad also up to 3 volt, or 3 microfarad also up to 3 volt. This part is understood first. Have you understood the first step?
Yes,
This is our step 1, that charge any one of these up to 3 volt. Now, there are 2 cases. In one case, I can charge either 2 microfarad up to 3 volt. In case 2, I can charge 3 microfarad up to 3 volt. Any one of these I will do first. Okay. Now, at last step, in the last step, what I will do now? In the last step, I will think which is more advantageous. Whether the charging of 3 microfarad was more advantageous for the last step, or the charging of 2 microfarad up to 3 volt was more advantageous in the last step. Now, what happens if I charge 3 microfarad? Okay, up to what? Which is the last step? Last step was here. If I charge 2 microfarad up to 3 volt, then the last step will be something like this. It is 3 microfarad. It is 2 microfarad here. It is 1.5 volt of 3 microfarad. Means this 1.5 volt is not separately. It is actually across which? It is across 3 microfarad. You are understanding this or not? This 3 volt is across. This is across 2 microfarad. Okay. But as I told you, a charged capacitor can always be taken like a battery in series with a uncharged capacitor. Now, in this, we can clearly see that when these 2 batteries of 4.5 volt are supplying to this 1.5 volt, the effective battery becomes of what? 3 volt. Effective battery is 3 volt. And that 3 volt battery will be supplying what charge? That will be supplying again 18/5 microfarad, 18/5 microcoulomb charge. I am writing microfarad here. 18/5 microcoulomb charge it will be supplying. So while it is supplying that charge, what voltage it can cause to increase? If it is the case of 3 microfarad capacitor, then it will cause increase Q/3, which is less. But if it is case of 2 microfarad being charged, then it will cause increase Q/2. And obviously Q/2 will be more than Q/3, right? So which will be preferable? The last charging should be of 2 microfarad. The final charging should be of 2 microfarad. So that will be the preferable last step, which will be by which we will be able to gain more voltage and lose less. 3 microfarad is losing, but it is losing less. 2 microfarad is gaining, but it is gaining more. You can understand this thing, that if a charge is, if the capacitance is less, if C1 is less than C2, if C1 is less than C2, and I am supplying charge, I am supplying the charge from C1 to C2, okay, then understand, if C1 is less than C2, then C1 will lose more and C2 will gain less voltage. You understand why so? Why so? Because Q/C1 is the voltage lost by C1. And what is the voltage gained by C2? Voltage gained by C2 is Q/C2. Now, which is gain is more or loss is more in this case?
Loss is more.
In this case, loss is more because C1 was less than C2. So then the loss will be more. And if I am sending the charge in opposite direction, if I'm sending the charge in from the larger capacitor to smaller capacitor, then gain will be more and loss will be less. Therefore, the final charging step I will do in such a way that I will be charging the smaller capacitor. I will be charging the smaller capacitor and I will be using the bigger capacitor to charge that. So bigger capacitor may be slightly discharged, but no problem. We will still have overall gain in the voltage. Okay. Have you followed this or not? Have you understood this?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Yes, sir, understood, sir.
Right. Good, very good. There some people explain in this way. I have seen some other teachers, they explain in this way, but I thought there is no need of such analogy. We can understand capacitance like capacitance only and voltage like voltage. Although they try to explain it in this way, and I think some of you may find it easier to understand it. These capacitors, they treat like some tanks, I think. Sorry, wait a second. One water tank, another water tank. And they say if we have to transfer water from one tank to the other tank, okay, then this is up to height h, and it will lose height. Losing height is like losing voltage. Losing height is like losing voltage. It will lose height, and the other one will gain height. One has larger area. Area is like capacitance. Larger area, lesser area. Then what will happen in this procedure? If I take the larger area tank, which is like larger capacitance, and I supply the water to the smaller one, I will lose height in the larger one, but I will gain height in the smaller one, smaller area one, right? But overall, the loss will be less and gain will be more. You understand that? Because A1 is greater than A2. So loss in level will be less and gain will be more. Okay. This point is clear? Okay.
Yes, sir,
So
yes.
this area is equivalent to capacitance. The height is equivalent to the voltage. And this is like loss of height means like loss of voltage. Okay. So, and water volume of water we can treat like capacitance, because Q is equal to C into V. Similarly, C is replaced by area, and voltage is replaced by height, and the charge is like volume. So volume is equal to area into height. So you can have this analogy. Okay, volume is equal to area into height, and we are supplying water from a larger tank to a smaller tank. Then that will be better because the loss will be less and gain will be more. On the other hand, if I take a smaller tank first and I fill it up to height h, and then I supply finally water to the larger tank, then what will happen? Then the loss will be more and gain will be less. So it will be disadvantageous for me. I want what to be more at last? I want the voltage to be more. So it means in this case, I want height to be more, and height obtained will be more if I am following this procedure, charging the larger area capacity. Larger area means charging the larger capacitors first, and then supplying the charge from the larger one to the smaller one in the last step. That will be better. Okay. They explain in this way, but these are equivalent. We can understand directly capacitance like capacitance and voltage like voltage only. No need to convert. Have we discussed this or not? On this page, I think. Find charge Q is negated. This is not related to this week, so no need. That way, remove it from here. I could see this probably. This I can take. Question number 19. Device D has property that if initially conducting, it remains non-conducting until the voltage across it rises to. I think we can leave it. You will understand it much easily once we do semiconductors. No need to do it now. Let us leave it. This device here, they are taking it like a hypothetical device. But while we will study semiconductors, then you will know that this is actually a real device. And moreover, it has also something related to time constant. So we will discuss it later on. We can see this one. What is this? Conducting balloon has radius A and potential V0. And then it is earth through resistance. Valve is opened. We are opening some valve here from which air is going out, and this balloon, I think, starts shrinking. The gas inside the balloon escapes. Size of the balloon decreases. The rate of decrease in radius of the balloon is controlled in such a manner that the potential of the balloon remains constant. Potential of the balloon remains constant. I think you can do it. What is the formula for potential? If I have this balloon is of Q charge and initially potential is V0, it continues to be V0. Okay. but radius is decreasing. We know potential formula Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R. And we also know that charge is also leaking. What is the rate of leaking of charge? If this is the potential, then rate of leaking of charge will be V naught by R current. You understand? I is equal to V naught by R.
Yes, sir.
So I think you can tell that dq by dt charge is decreasing with time. So I should write minus is equal to V naught by capital R, which is equal to Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught small r into capital R. This is one equation. What other equation do we have here? They are saying that V naught should remain constant. We are already using that information. V naught is remaining constant. I am treating it like a constant only. No, I'm not using that information yet. Wait a second. V naught constant, R constant. If both are constant, then I will prefer to write this equation because both are constants here. Then what will be dq? dq will be V naught by R into dt integral. Charge will be initially Q. Initially Q or Q naught? Let us take initially Q naught, and at some time it becomes Q. 0 to t. What is our equation then? Q naught minus Q is equal to V naught by R into t. What will be the value of Q then? Q naught minus V naught by R into t. We are getting charge as a function of time. I have not even seen what they are asking, but I'm just determining the things myself, what we could determine here. So we could determine charge as a function of time, charge on the balloon. What else we can do here? Time rate at which the radius of the balloon changes. So what is the rate of, because V naught has to be constant, I can write Q is equal to V naught into 4 pi epsilon naught R. What is dq by dt? We already know, but I can differentiate it. I can get V naught into 4 pi epsilon naught into dr by dt. Dr by dt will be the
Rate of
what
change.
will be
I'm-
rate of change of radius.
Radius with
I'm
time.
dead, sir.
This is minus, but dr by dt is also minus. It is also decreasing. So I think I can get away with minus sign in both sides. So I will just write plus only. Then we get
1 by 4 pi epsilon naught R.
what are you telling me? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught R.
Substitute minus V naught by R in place of dq by dt, sir.
Minus V naught by R in place of dq by dt. V naught by R, I have to write now, I think so. No, minus, yes, minus of V naught by, yes, right only, is equal to 4 pi, V naught cancels, and epsilon naught into dr by dt. Then we are getting already 20, answer for 20, right?
Yes, sir.
What is answer? What is answer then?
By 4 pi epsilon naught cap minus 1 by.
Right. So I think D.
Second option.
Second option. Second, yes, right. Second. What about 21? How much heat is dissipated in the resistance? That is simple. Because luckily
Integral
V naught is constant. If V naught is constant, then it is so simple. V naught square by R will be the power dissipated. And into time, I have to multiply. Until the radius becomes half. I will find out what time, at what time radius becomes half, then I will get the answer. When will the radius become half? If you want to get that, you can use this equation to tell what is the radius as a function of time. And you will get time from there. Can you do it now?
Yes, sir.
We can do it easily. It is not tough now. We can get the answer. I am leaving it for you. You do it, right? And let me take few other questions which I have in mind. One is of spherical capacitors.
They better be making it.
What?
Time is less, sir.
Okay, I will take that.
Only 10 minutes more.
Whatever we can cover, we will try to cover it, right? Do you have class after this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, next, sir. Yes.
Math, was it not conducted in the morning?
Same way, sir, as you.
Okay, right. So fine. Let us see now. This is capacitor, and I think I need one more. There are three capacitors of radius, spherical conductors of radius ABC. In between, I am keeping a small hole. This is small hole here, from which I can connect a wire, and there is a switch. When I want to connect, I will connect it. Okay. Initial charges are given to this. Maybe total charge is given Q1, Q2, Q3. I'm writing Q1, Q2, Q3 in this way because it is given to the entire shell. We don't know what will be the redistribution. That I can write as Q1 minus Q1, Q2, and minus Q2, and then it is Q3. And I have told you already what are these values of Q1, Q2, Q3, right? If you remember, what will be Q1 value? Q1 will be the total Q1.
Yes, sir.
What will be Q2 value? Q2 value we can obtain
Q1
by,
plus Q2.
yes. So
Inside
Q1,
capacitor,
Q1 plus
Q2.
Q2, and similarly Q3 will be Q1 plus
plus
Q2 plus
Q2 plus Q3,
Q3.
sir.
These three equations we are having. Question is, when I close the switch, what is the charge flown and what is the energy lost after closing the switch? Just after closing the switch, what is the charge flown and what is the energy lost? Can you answer this question?
Charge will be the same will come now.
We have discussed such things before also, if you remember, right? Before also we have discussed such things in electrostatics. Right or not? If not, then no problem. Then now also we can do anyway. Now we can do it in a better way. Of A and B, between A and B, capacitance is C1. And between B and C, there is another capacitor. That is, let us say C2. This is between A and B, and this is between B and C. What is C1 value? C1 is 4 pi epsilon naught BA upon B minus A.
Yes, sir.
And similarly, C2 is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught CB upon C
by
minus B.
B.
Right? What is the charge stored in the first capacitor? I told you which we take the charge, not the total. We take the charge which is like equal and opposite. This Q1. Q1, small Q1 will be the charge. So the charge in the first is Q1. Charge in the second is Q2. Q1 minus Q1, Q2 and minus Q2. These are the charges. Now, what happens if I connect directly A to C? If I connect A to C, then it is equivalent to connecting A to C here. It is same. So can you tell me what happens to this if I connect A to C?
Charging or discharging.
Then it will be like this only, the way we do. If C1 is there and C2 is there and I connect them in parallel, it is like parallel only, because finally potential difference across it and potential difference across it will become same. Finally potential difference across these will become same. So it is like connecting them together. This is A, this is C, this is a B, this is a B only, right? So I have connected A to C, means I have connected negative here and here positive, here negative and here positive. This way I have connected. What is charge on B? Q2. What is charge on B of C1? That is minus Q1. Then what is the total charge? What is the total charge in this?
Q2 minus Q1.
That is Q2 minus Q1 is the total charge. The total charge remains constant. Then what will be the potential acquired? What is the total new capacitance? That is C1 plus C2.
C1 plus C2.
What will be C1 plus C2? We can obtain it 4 pi epsilon naught by this solving it 4 pi epsilon naught BA upon B minus A plus CB upon C minus B, this whole. And what is Q2 minus Q1? That you have to tell me. Q2 was
Q2, sir.
Yes.
Capital Q2.
That is capital Q2. So what is the final voltage acquired across this combination? This V. What is the voltage across C1 separately? That is also V. What is the voltage across C2 separately? That is also V. After getting this V, can we determine the new charges across C1, Q1 dash and Q2 dash? That will be C1V and C2V. So we can get what will be the new charge. and which plate will have what charge. That also we should know. Which plate will have what charge. Now, that depends actually. It depends on the value, I think. I am assuming Q2 to be greater than Q1. If Q2 is given greater than Q1, then overall, right side will remain positive and left side will remain negative, right? Right side will remain positive and left side will remain negative. Then B will remain positive and A and C will become negative. Then this will have both sides positive and this side will be negative, that side will be negative. Then field will start existing in this way. From B to C and from B to A. That way the field will exist. If given the condition that Q2 was greater than Q1, then this will happen. On the other hand, if Q2 is less than Q1, then this will be negative here and this will be positive
A
here.
to B, A to C field will be existing.
Right. Then field will be exist, not A to B, A to B and C to B. Both. If B is negative, then it will be like this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Towards B only.
Sir,
We are yes.
here directly without calculating potential difference, we can say it divides in the ratio of capacitance. Sir.
Yes, definitely. The charge gets divided in the ratio of capacitance. But which charge is dividing here? Q2 gets divided in the ratio of capacitance. This Q2 will divide.
Q2
will divide in the ratio of capacitance. And as far as Q1 is concerned, this Q1 will go to outside. Outside, we know that charge will remain fixed only. What will be the total charge outside? Q1 plus Q2 plus. That will remain that only. That will not change. That will remain as it is. There will be no loss of energy in the fields which are from outside to infinity. Where will be the loss of energy? Loss of energy will be due to the changing of fields between these capacitors. Therefore, whatever loss of energy is taking place, that is taking place due to the field change inside. And that we can find out by these diagrams. I will find out what is initial energy. What will be the initial energy? Initial energy will be half of Q1 square by C1 plus half of this Q2, small q2, half of Q2 square by C2. That is the initial energy. What will be the final energy? Final energy we can obtain now. Here, half of C1 plus C2 into V square. I can write that way also. That is the final energy. Then I can get the difference. That will be the loss of energy. Understood? Okay.
Okay.
How to find the loss of energy if I earth? If I earth, then the outer capacitor, this will also get discharged. Then there will be one additional loss of energy here. That will be equal to half of Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 whole square divided by what was the capacitance of this outermost from
4 pi epsilon C, sir.
Yes, exactly 4 pi epsilon C. Then this will also get lost, but this will get lost only after earthing. Otherwise, nothing happens to it. Okay.
Okay. And my question.
Yes, ask.
I have put
In WhatsApp it is.
Uh,
Let me check. Let me check. Which batch it is? Junior super incoming. No, it is not there.
the senior super.
Senior super. Senior incoming.
Yes, sir.
Please send it again. That will come in the top. You send it again once again.
Sir,
Yes.
I have sent you the same way this problem before you explained, right? Circular
Which one?
Circular one you have explained now, sir. The same way. I have sent, sir.
You have sent right. One, second one, and third one. And in between there's a battery here. Like this. What is it here? C2D means it is C by 2 and it is C, we can say. Because this distance is 2D and this is D. Then I can treat these like one capacitor and another capacitor, and in between a battery like this. Make equivalent circuit diagram, you will understand it is. If they give the plates, then why there's a confusion? It is same thing only.
So we can
No.
take them to parallel capacitors now.
Take it like earthing 0, and this is here V. Then yes, these are parallel. Obviously, these are parallel only because the potential difference here also V, here also V. These are parallel.
So then directly we can find the total charge and distribution of
What
charge.
are they
and
saying? Then that charge on the plate number 5. Which number is 5 number?
The last but one, sir, last but one surface.
Then this is 5 actually.
From
This is
the-
5. So I have to find only on this. I have to find only on this. Why should I take others? I have to find only on this. Then I will get directly here V into C. That is answer.
They are given a 2 series. Sir,
V into C.
they have surface, sir. That is surface, sir. Inside surface.
Only inside will only have charge. Which else will have charge?
Then answer was given by 2 CV, sir. They have given.
How would it be 2 CV? I am trying to think that on. Not able to understand. It won't be 2 CV.
They have given 2 epsilon naught VA by D, sir. It is 2 CV only, no, sir.
Hmm?
They have given 2 epsilon naught CV, 2 epsilon naught A by D, sir. It is 2 CV only, no, sir.
2 CV.
But I'm getting the same way CV I'm getting, sir.
They have given epsilon naught A.
They
What they have
have,
given?
yes,
Epsilon naught A by D into V they have given.
into 2.
Into 2 also they have given.
Yes, sir.
No, I am not getting that. Plate number 5, I am not getting that. I am getting just epsilon naught A by D into V only.
Okay, sir.
It might be mistake here.
Okay, sir.
Okay, right. Any other doubt? That's it.
Yes.
Okay, then let us end it now. You can attend the other class.